Hey, George here. Hey, something just came up that was shared with me by Earthworks microphones. Actually, they have a new promotion that bundles along with it some brand new software that's just been released, and the embargo has been released on October 25th for this software from a partnership between Native Instruments and iZotope called VEA. So let's see if it works here in Adobe Audition. This is 2023 on the Mac. Let's give it a go, shall we? Now you can see the plugin is waiting for audio, so let's play some audio and see what it does.
Last time I knew was in London, 50 years ago. I'm not going back home. I'm not going back home. I'm not going back home. Last time I knew was in London, 50 years ago. Last time I knew was in London, 50 years ago. I'm not going back home.
Well, it's different. Is it better?
50 years ago.
I don't know.
I'm not going back home. Last time I knew was in London, 50 years ago. I'm not going back home.
Bypass.
Last time I knew was in London, 50 years ago.
On.
I'm not going back home. Last time I knew was in London, 50 years ago. I'm not going back home. Last time I knew was in London, 50 years ago. I'm not going back home. Last time I knew was in London, 50 years ago. I'm not going back home. I'm not going back home. I'm not going back home. Last time I knew was in London, 50 years ago. I'm not going back home. I'm not going back home. I'm not going back home.
Well, now it's definitely working, so you can hear it working. It's very transparent. Even when I turn the clean knob all the way up, there seem to be almost no artifacts of any kind. So the clean knob definitely removes noise very, very subtly and cleanly. Now, this is a pretty quiet studio, but it's a tube mic. You can hear a little bit of noise. Clean seems to work. I like that the shape and boost knobs are both subtle. They're not like go crazy amounts of boost, crazy amounts of EQ. They're subtle changes and tasteful adjustments. So far, it's not causing any damage to the audio, and it seems to clean it up. Let me see if I have any audio that has a bit more, let's just say, trouble. I had this file loaded up earlier. This sample I just stumbled on recently, and it's a good example of things that are wrong in a lot of studios. Well, let's see what it does with this piece of audio. So we'll go ahead and play it back, room tone and all. And we'll load that VEA plugin. And yeah, it's waiting for audio. So it's going to listen to the audio and suggest settings. So let's see what it does.
Please enter your annual income. For example, salary, wages, interest, dividends, rental income, retirement benefits. If you are 21 or older, you may include income from others that you can reasonably access to pay your bills. Alimony, child support, or separate maintenance income need not be revealed if you do not wish to have it considered as a basis for repaying this obligation. Please touch tone or speak your annual income now.
Well, let's do it again, but this time with the processing completely off. And those of you paying close attention, you'll notice that it had already determined the setting for clean, shape, and boost during the room tone. So it had already decided what shape and boost should be set to before it actually got any actual signal, which I thought was kind of interesting. Let's try it again, this time having it not have all that room tone at the head of the file, and try it again and see what it suggests.
Please enter your annual income. For example, salary, wages, interest, dividends, rental income, retirement benefits. If you are 21 or older, you may include income from others that you can reasonably access to pay your bills. Alimony, child support, or separate maintenance income need not be revealed if you do not wish
pulling
to have
down
it
the level
considered as a basis for repaying this
so it matches the raw a little bit better.
Please touch tone or speak your annual income now. Please enter your annual income. For example, salary, wages, interest.
So you'll notice this time it set the clean to 30%. Before it was like 70 or 80%. So it definitely depends on the signal you're feeding it. If you just feed it room tone, it goes, woof, let's crank up the clean. If you feed it audio with signal, it's going to set the clean quite differently. So it looks like you need to really make sure you're playing back a sample that's not just room tone when it's setting up your initial settings.
Dividends, rental income, retirement benefits. If you are 21 or older, you may include income from others that you can reasonably access to pay your bills. Alimony, child support, or separate maintenance income need not be revealed if you do not wish to have it considered as a basis for repaying this obligation. Please touch tone or speak.
But does it sound better?
Income now. Please enter your annual income. For example, salary, wages, interest, dividends, rental income, retirement benefits.
Yeah, you hear more. It sounds a little bit cleaner. The cleaning part seems to work really well. The shape part is a weird one. As an engineer, that would be like, to me, that's like being an artist and having a paintbrush that says color on it. And then you have to paint with the color brush. What's it doing? What color is it going to be? To me, a shape knob is a very esoteric thing. I guess you just turn until you like, but it's weird. Boost is very straightforward. You turn it up, it gets louder, right? That's extremely straightforward. It's just a compressor limiter algorithm that controls those things together. Anyway, I don't know how much it costs. If it's really cheap, I would say it could be an awesome noise reduction tool to experiment with. If it's more than $100, is it worth it? I don't know. Not when Clarity VX is out there at $40 or less. This is a tough sell to me. For me, really, it's the clean thing that's the use here. It clearly can't deal with the bad acoustics in that room. You can hear the resonance in that booth. It doesn't really know how to deal with that, or it doesn't fix it. So it's not a fix for bad acoustics, but it definitely is an improvement to cleaning up the noise floor very transparently without color. So to me, this might be a really nice cleaner or noise reduction to add to your tool set. Again, based on whatever it costs, which we don't know yet because it doesn't seem to be on sale anywhere. It's a Native Instruments iZotope partnership, but it's not on their websites yet. Go take a look and see if it is. And if you try it, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks.